Hi guys, a really warm welcome back to my channel and to a money saving video. I've got 15 hacks for you for how to save money at the moment. We're in a global cost of living crisis. It's an absolute disaster at the moment, to be frank with you, but I've got some money saving tips for you and some advice for how to deal with the rising cost of living. I really hope that it's helpful for you. If you do find it helpful, then please do give it a like so that other people can find it, and maybe share it if you can, or subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do upload videos to help you guys live your best life on a budget. So everything from money mindset to financial well-being and lots of lifestyle homey videos as well. Obviously we have just moved into our new home, which is something we'll get onto, but it's a very long time coming, and there has been quite a lot of home content here recently, but obviously I want to go back to my roots. We are all struggling at the moment and it is a very difficult time for so many people. So I want to be able to share hopefully some really helpful money saving ways that can help you guys cope with the rising cost of living. So with all that being said, let's get into the video. Right, so this one might be a long one, so please do listen to me at 0.5 speed. This has been an absolute game changer for me. It's boosted my productivity levels no end. Essentially, you can just put me on like a sped up version, so I speak like this, blah, blah, blah. But you get so much more done. So this is going to be quite packed out, full of tips. So keep on watching till the end so that you can make sure you don't miss any of them. Some of them we may well be recapping a couple of things if you are a long time viewer, but I find like just listening to things again can really help me refresh my mindset and remember those things that I might have listened to a couple of years ago that I've forgotten about. So hopefully there's something here for everybody. If you're new to my channel, then I'm Lara. It's so nice to have you here in this community. So first of all, I guess like my first thing would be about mindset. So I want to kind of talk about one of the mindset ways that I live my life, and that is to spend less than I earn, live below my means, and save and invest the rest. So if potentially I get like a bonus, like I get an extra job that I wasn't expecting, that money, it doesn't need to be spent. I'll put that money somewhere to let it grow with maybe investments, and I've done videos on my investments here on this channel, or I'll just put it into my emergency fund or my sinking funds or some sort of a savings account, because I don't need to spend that money. So that's like one of the big mindset shifts I've taken on in my financial well-being journey. And if you do get a bonus from work, or maybe get some extra shifts, or you just get some money somehow, then the mindset shift is you don't have to spend it. Spend less than you earn and invest and save the rest. I work with sinking funds. I've done a video on that before, which is essentially guilt-free spending. If I have like a sinking fund for a holiday, when I take that money out, that money is all accounted for and budgeted for, and I can spend that money and not feel guilty, because that was a huge issue that I had when it was coming to my spending, that I was so into saving that when I actually spent money it felt really weird and I couldn't do it. And finally, if I can't afford it, then I just don't have it. I never borrow more than I can afford to repay. Obviously, if you are in severe debt and you need to borrow money to pay your food bill, then these are the things that we're going to work through in this video, but it can't be helped. But if it's on something that you don't need, you just really want, then unless I have the money and I can afford to do it, I just won't borrow it. I want to talk about the mental effects of this financial crisis that we're in, the cost of living crisis, and that is that kind of mindset of what you own can value your worth, what you're worth can value your worth, if that makes sense. And that does not need to be the case. We are all struggling. We are all in a really crappy position, and that's not our fault. There are things outside of our control that we cannot change. If we were the best frugal or savvy with money or well educated or in a really well paid job, we would still be facing these issues that are outside of our control. So don't let that damage your mental well-being because you're feeling like you have failed or you've caused this. I don't want you to feel any shame around this, and what your bank account value is doesn't equate to your value as a person. So lots of people here follow me because they're trying to buy a house. But I guess the kind of message is, if you can't afford to pay your electricity bill at the moment, you might need to readjust your goals and your ambitions and your expectations for the year. If you want to buy a house, that's great. But if you need to prioritize spending it on things day-to-day living, then it might just be a chance. It hurts because you feel like you're so close to your goal, or maybe that's the goal that you've got in your mind, but it is just a chance just to reset those expectations for the year. It took us years and years to save for our house, way longer than I was documenting it for, and there were lots of downs on that journey. So you may well have followed me and you'd be like, you live in a beautiful home, thanks, as I'd say so myself, but you may well be feeling like these things you can't have, but that your journey is different to someone else's. So just stay in your own lane. You're not going to judge yourself against someone else. This is your own journey, and your time will also come. So being vigilant with your bills, this is where it comes down to the granular detail of knowing what comes in and out of your bank. And I've talked about this before, but if you have got subscriptions or bills like your phone bill, they're just going to keep on running. If your contract is up, you're probably not going to be told about it. You're just going to be kept on going with this contract. For example, maybe your car insurance or they'll send you a letter, but you've just got to be vigilant that they will keep on charging you this amount, and you may be able to get it better for a better price. So just be really vigilant with what's coming out of your bank and be really granular with all of this information. It really, really does help. If you don't know what you've been spending, then the chances are you're probably spending too much because you're not tracking it. So just be really hyper aware of your banking, what's in and what's out, and what's left in the middle. Next is convenience costs money. So many things have been invented since I was even old enough to use them. So things that are going to maybe take longer will actually cost you less money. So for example, you might not want to walk. It might be too far to go to work or to come home from work. But instead of grabbing an Uber, that's the convenience thing. Think about taking a bus. Yes, it's going to take you longer. You'll still get home, but you would have saved a lot of money. Or if you can't be bothered to cook, then Deliveroo is just an app away, just a couple of taps away. But maybe use your energy when you have it, say on a Sunday night, to batch cook loads of meals so that they're there in the freezer when you want to grab something, when you can't be bothered to cook. Or for example, if you want to get some money out of a cash machine, walk that bit further to get to the cash point that's free rather than going to one that's going to cost you money. These are just little changes, and it's all about convenience. You're going to pay more for things that are more convenient. So make that extra effort, go the extra mile, and actually get things cheaper. And these are micro things that will definitely add up to save you money. By all means, get a takeaway. We sometimes have one once in a blue moon because it's a treat. But if you're doing these things every day, they are not a treat. They're just part of day-to-day life, and as such you then don't appreciate them. So save it for once a month or once every Friday night. It's your thing as a family. You sit down, you have a takeaway. That's okay, but just to do it throughout the week when you could just be batch cooking or cooking something simple, it just saves so much money. I'm really sorry about the light in here. I had this blind up and it was creating quite a horrible back shadow. If I sit here, see what that looks like. Is that any better? Okay, so this one is a bit left field, but could you move in with a friend, or if you're a single mom, move in with another single mom and combine things? This is a bit crazy, but honestly, we're just conforming to this normal thing, normal, you have to do it this way. You can save, you could rent out your current place and live with and split the money that you're earning in the rent, and then split everything as well, all the electricity, all the food bills, all the day-to-day house running bills. You could split that with the person you're living with, make the money out of what your place that you own already or that you rent already, so if you're allowed to sublet, and you could actually do this for 6 months or Airbnb it or something for the weekends. This is actually going to save you so much money. I feel this is a genius idea that no one does because we're all stuck in the rut of no, this is how life should be. We live with we live on our own, or we live with a flatmate, but actually combine flats with someone and maybe 4 into 1. You could save so much money. It's just sometimes thinking outside the box and doing something that we would never do normally. So if you are thinking that you're missing out on things like social events, maybe festivals and gigs, then why not consider volunteering at these events? So you get to work for half of it and you get to go to the gig for the other half. My brother did this for Glastonbury years ago, and places like Oxfam, places like that will recruit people to volunteer at these events. So you don't have to miss out on these experiences and these fun things, but you actually can get it for free as well as volunteering, which might hopefully give you that nice warm fuzzy feeling that you're helping out. So look into that, see where you can volunteer, maybe it's an event or a gig or something like that, but there's definitely things that you can get for free by giving your time for part of it. If you feel like you want to pamper, maybe you want your hair done or some beauty treatments, but you don't want to spend on it, so a way to save money here, or you just want to keep up with your hair appointments or something, you can go to a local technology college or beauty school and you will get a student to do it for you for free as a model, but you will be overseen by the lecturer. You'll never be left to walk out with half your hair missing because they'll always be overseeing. Yes, it might take a bit longer, but you're getting a treatment for free. So if this is something that you really want to make you feel better, look how you want to look without spending the money, then definitely look into getting free haircuts as models. In fact, salons do this as well with apprentices and trainees. So just look around, do some research, or maybe ask on Facebook if anyone needs models or something like that. This is a great way of saving money on your beauty treatments. The next tip is to pay outright for things. So monthly payments can cost a lot more money. So if you can pay for it in one lump sum at the beginning of the year, like your car insurance or your TV license or something like that, it's a way of saving money. Obviously, you may not be able to afford to do that, but why don't you spend this year putting maybe like £2, £3, £4 extra into a sinking fund, so that when it comes to renewing next year, you can pay it off in one go and you can save yourself the interest. Make sure you're using a comparison site when you are doing your annual bill changeovers. As I said, insurance companies will just roll that over. Like literally, you'll just be paying the same price where you can get it for cheaper. Make sure you're not missing out here by using a comparison site. I know that's a simple thing, but you believe me, so many people don't do this. I'm not going to dwell on this one because it's an obvious one and I've spoken about it before, but meal planning. Don't just go into the shop and be like, what can I buy? Literally just plan what you're going to eat for the week. Use what you've already got in the cupboard. You've got some potatoes, great. You're going to make something with potatoes. You've got a sack of potatoes. You can make fish cakes. You can make cottage pie. You can make mashed potato. You can make something with potatoes in it, like a gnocchi or something like that. Like there's so many ways of doing this, but just meal plan. That's enough. That's as much as I'm going to say because you guys know. And if you don't know, there's heaps of videos on my channel about meal planning and how to save money on your food shop. I will link them all below for you. Heating. Now we all know that the energy crisis is causing a huge uplift in people's bills, and unfortunately I can't change the price that you are paying for your energy bill, but there are ways that we can kind of manage how it's going to be in the winter. Sadly, there will be another price hike by then as well, and it's I could be here all day talking about why the government aren't stepping in here and helping us. Obviously, we have just had the grant, and I did a reel on that over my Instagram, Lara, Joanna, Jarvis. But there are ways that we can kind of like protect ourselves as we go into winter. At the moment, we won't be having our heating on, so our bills are going to be less. So why don't we use that money that we were paying in the winter this year when they first went up and keep that ongoing increased payment, but keeping it in your account so that when it does come to it, then you don't have this like huge amount of money to find. So we actually changed our tariff on our electricity bill. I think it was about March time. So the price hikes had happened, or we moved and then we lost our tariff, and so we went up, and I got home from Cornwall and it was on £9.90 a day. Staggering amount. It would like triple the amount that we were paying before. Obviously, yeah, we did move house. It was a bigger house to heat, but £9.90, £10 a day. Like, is this a joke? So we went on to a variable rate tariff. Now, I can't say this would work for you, but for us, we were a bit unsure, but we had two friends that worked at the energy company that we are provided by, and they both said like they won't offer this, they're not going to publicize this, but you can ask to go on a variable rate tariff, and it has reduced it down to about £3.50 a day. Obviously, we're now not heating the place, but we've just like can't believe the difference. So just look into whether you are actually allowed to do that. As I said, like you need to do your own research. If it might be that you pay more doing that, but for us, it saved us so much money. If you're gonna find it really, really hard to put that extra money aside for your winter energy bills, then set up something like Plum, where you can actually have savings pots. I actually have, I think, about 8 different pots, and this money just comes out of my account. I'll put a link for you in the description. I think we might get £15 each if I refer you, actually. I worked with them ages and ages ago, and I really love them still. And loads of you guys say you love Plum as well. Essentially, it's like not a banking app, it's like a finance app. So it knows how much you're spending, where you're spending it. It can help you like see exactly where you're overspending and things like that. But one of the really helpful uses of it is that you can put in, say you want like a pot for your holiday, a pot for your car expenses, a pot for your energy bill in the winter, a pot for your clothes, a pot for your debt management, or whatever you want to do, and you can have like this amount coming out, so it will automatically take out an amount of money that it knows you can afford, that it knows how much you're spending and where you need to save. Like if you need to save money, it will go less and less, but it will put this money in these pots. And so you could put like £1-2 a day into your energy pot for the winter, and then when it comes to winter, you won't have noticed you losing that money, but it will be there ready to pay for your electricity bill. It's not sponsored, but you can sign up for free. It's a free app, and I know loads of people absolutely love it. Next tip is to rotate things. I feel like we're getting on quite a long video here, but this is like I've still got loads of tips to go. So the next thing is to rotate things. So things like toys for your children. If you've got children, mine are like, if they have the toys out and they've played with them forever, they're like, I've got nothing, what should we do? I'm bored. But you put those toys in the loft, and then 6 months later you get them down. The best toys they've ever had, honestly. And you can do this with your clothes as well. I do this every year with seasonal changes, and you get it down on, I sometimes leave them a couple of years. Like I just got down a load of stuff and I was like, it's like Christmas. It's like I've been on a shopping spree. This dress, 3 years old. I bought this for California in like 2019. Haven't worn it since. I got out of the loft. I was like, yes, chef's kiss. This is my outfit now. So there's loads of ways you can like rotate things. And also with your friends, if you've got other friends with children your own children's age, then do a toy swap, and then after a few months swap them back. It will be like they've got brand new things without having to spend the money. The next tip is to learn a frugal mindset. Now there's a huge difference between being frugal and being cheap, and I've got a video on this, so I'll link it below for you in a playlist. You'll have to look for it within the playlist, but it's a mindset. So being frugal people can actually end up spending more money on something than they need to. Definitely more on the cheapest thing, because they know it might last them longer, it might be better for them, it might be nicer to use. They choose to spend their money wisely and they don't waste their money. That's the difference. And unfortunately, people kind of have, and I won't call out the comments, I'd like to feel like they aren't being intentionally unkind to me, but some comments of, you know, like, why'd you buy that? You're meant to be frugal. Like, we've got ourselves to a good position financially because we've done the groundwork. We've done so much work to get to this point. And believe me, like, such a huge change. Changing my mindset towards my money and how I spend money and how I think about money has completely improved my financial well-being. In fact, I've got money mindset videos here as well if you'd like to watch them. We won't get into it too much in this video. Just like doing a meat-free Monday, doing blackout days can really help with your electricity bills. So instead of having the TV on as a matter of habit when you get in from work, think about like turning it off at the wall so it doesn't keep charging it when you don't need it, and read a book, do a puzzle, go for a walk, do some baking, like literally anything else. And it's not just TV, obviously that's not gonna like suddenly make you a millionaire overnight or get you out of debt or be able to pay for your food bill, but just little changes. So perhaps you don't do a wash every time you use your clothes. Like if they don't smell and they don't have, even if they've got marks on them, I'll just like dab them off with a cloth. You don't have to wash them every day. I'm sorry if you feel like that's disgusting, but if it doesn't smell and it's clean, then I wouldn't put it in the wash. Stu does, he is like a man and he's a burly man and he would sweat more than me. I'm Prince Andrew, guys. I do not sweat. Like, I literally don't sweat. It's really weird. But what I was going to say, this has gone off on a really weird tangent, is that you don't have to do a wash every time you use your clothes. You don't have to do a wash a day. Wait until you've got a full load. You don't have to use your dishwasher every day. Wash up for a week. Literally, like, these sorts of things. Like, if you're going to make a cup of tea, put it in a pot. Keep it warm. Like, then you've got 3 cups of tea for the price of 1 boiling of the kettle. Some of the most costly things we just do by habit. So just changing up these habits and changing the way you do things can really save you a load of money. Impulse purchases. Now, we've just got to mention this one, guys. I know you long-term viewers, I love you all so much. You will know about this one, but at least sleep on these things. Changing have your own rules, but having mine as like a 30-day rule changed so much, and it saved me so much money. And a really nice thing to do is, and a powerful thing to do, is write down every time you want to buy something. Write it down how much it is, and at the end of the month, if you've managed to not buy anything, tot up those amounts, my friend. Hundreds of pounds you could have wasted on things that you probably still don't want, still don't need. Like, you've got over the impulse of it and you've saved loads of money. That money can go into a pot for your emergency fund, or like to have there if you need it for an unexpected bill, or invest it, or just something other than spending on stuff you don't need. Next one is to couple up. And no, I don't mean Love Island. I've never seen it. Have you? Let me know if it's something I should need in my life. I've never watched it. But coupling up on things like Netflix, on driving, on parking, on hotels. There's so many things, like on a national rail card. Like, if you go to London with the same people all the time on like nights out, or, you know, day work or whatever like that, just couple up on a national rail card and save the money. Going in with someone to halve the cost. So maybe if you need or you really want a Netflix subscription, get a family one, pay half each, use it together. There's ways in which you can save money. Your Spotify account, family membership. There's just ways of coupling up and saving money in the long run. And I don't want to dwell on this one because I know I talk about it a lot, but that's because I'm so passionate about it. And that is, never shop without checking if there's cashback, if there's a voucher, if there's a discount. There's just, like, I have a process of when I shop, and it always involves those 3 things. And it pains me. It makes my heart hurt if I have to buy something with no cashback on it, or there's no discount, or there's no voucher code. I literally will search and search until I found something before I buy that thing, because it's literally money that is for things that you're buying anyway. And that doesn't have to be things, like I say, it might be your electricity bill, your phone bill, something that you have to pay for, your trains, your hotel, or something like that. This money just adds up. It just sits in my account until I have a birthday or a Christmas or a holiday, and I take the money out and I spend it guilt-free. Or I can put it into my emergency fund if I need it for electricity bill, food bill, things that are outside of my control that are increasing in price. But please, the amount of people that have signed up with my link and then never used it, I will link it for you below. I think we get £15 each. I'm not sure. There will be a sign up bonus for you, but just don't waste this opportunity to earn money for buying the things that you're going to buy anyway. As I said, I've worked with Top Cashback in the past, a long-term partner of mine. This could be any cashback site. I just don't want you to miss out on the cashback, guys. So yeah, check my link in the description bar, but also there's Chrome extensions. So I have voucher codes, which is called Deal Finder, Top Cashback, Quidco, Minty. I have loads of Chrome extensions that when I'm shopping, it not only tells me like which shop's got the best cashback, it'll also, when I go to buy, it will say like run vouchers, and then it will choose me a voucher that I won't know is out there in the world, and it will apply it to my basket, and it's free to use, and it's just extra money off. And honestly, I just think it's that mindset shift. And like loads of people say to me, oh, I signed up with your link and then I never used it. I'm like, once you get into the habit of it, like I was in the town shops the other day and I went to buy something. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about that. And I was like, actually, I'm just going to buy it online when I get home because I will get my cash back there. Obviously, I work with Curve as well, who are a card, so every time I'm shopping like in Aldi or IKEA or something that isn't like an online thing that I can get cash back on, I'll always get my cash back. And in fact, I double up, so when I buy online I also use my Curve card and get my cash back. It's just a whole happy place to be because my cashback amount just goes up and up, and I'm actually not doing anything to get that money other than spend on the things that I would be spending on anyway. I really hope that you listen to that on half extra speed because we're coming up for half an hour now. This is like maybe one of my most comprehensive money saving videos to date. I really hope that this has helped if you are dealing with rising cost of living and trying to make ends meet. Is really, really crap, and my heart goes out to anyone that is really, really struggling. Do share this with anyone that you think might find this helpful. Give it a like so that other people can find it here on this platform of YouTube, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this from me. There's loads of money saving videos down in the description bar, so don't forget to check those out. Thank you for being here. I've been Lara, and I will see you guys so soon. Take care. Bye.